Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, drop a like, and share this video, because today's story is one of those that make South Africans shake their heads in disbelief. It's a tale of confusion, controversy, and whispers of nepotism. The spotlight has suddenly turned towards South Africa's ambassador abroad, and this time it's not about foreign policy or trade deals, it's about a relative of the ambassador, Mthethwa, who's making headlines with one explosive comment: "It makes no sense." But what exactly doesn't make sense? That's what the country wants to know. The drama began when reports surfaced linking Ambassador Mthethwa's relative to a puzzling diplomatic or administrative decision that's now stirring waves within both political and social circles. The details remain blurry, as they often do in high-level politics, but insiders say the issue revolves around questionable decisions regarding hiring, spending, or influence within the ambassador's circle. And when the relative came out publicly saying, "It makes no sense," it only deepened the mystery. Was it frustration, a confession, or a cry to expose something bigger happening behind closed doors? The South African Foreign Service, already facing criticism for inefficiency and favoritism, did not need another scandal. But this one has quickly grown legs. Online, the public is dissecting every word, every facial expression, and every connection between Ambassador Mthethwa and the unnamed relative who dared to speak up. What makes the story particularly spicy is that the statement, "It makes no sense," was reportedly made in reference to a decision allegedly taken by the Department of International Relations and Cooperation, DIRCO, that may have impacted the ambassador's office or reputation. Some say the department might have blocked certain benefits or appointments, while others think the family is reacting to internal investigations. Whatever the real reason, one thing is clear: the phrase has gone viral. "It makes no sense" has now become a meme, a slogan, a catchphrase used by ordinary South Africans to describe everything from load shedding to government blunders. But underneath the laughter, there's real anger, because the story once again exposes how politics and family ties keep colliding in the country's diplomatic core. Ambassador Mthethwa, a seasoned politician turned diplomat, has often been seen as one of those quietly influential figures in government circles. Appointed to represent South Africa abroad, he has spent years cultivating international relationships and promoting the nation's image. But as history has shown, the line between public office and private influence can blur fast. The fact that a family member has entered the spotlight raises uncomfortable questions about who really benefits from state appointments and privileges. Some South Africans believe this controversy could expose a deeper rot within the Foreign Service, one where connections outweigh competence, and loyalty to political networks determines career progression. The "it makes no sense" moment might just be the tip of the iceberg, a glimpse into how decisions are made behind diplomatic curtains. And that's what has people talking. Political analysts are weighing in, too. One analyst from Johannesburg described the incident as a reflection of a system that's cracking under its own contradictions. He explained that when even relatives of high-ranking officials publicly express confusion or dissatisfaction, it signals a breakdown in internal communication and control. It's not just about one ambassador or one family, it's about the lack of coherence in South Africa's diplomatic structure, he said. On social media, opinions are divided. Some sympathize with the ambassador's relative, arguing that perhaps they were simply frustrated by bureaucratic incompetence or unfair treatment. Others believe it's nothing more than another elite squabble, the kind that ordinary citizens can't relate to because they're too busy struggling to survive back home. "These people fight over fancy jobs while we fight to keep the lights on," one user commented under a viral post. "It makes no sense, but then again, nothing in this country does anymore." DIRCO, for its part, has maintained its silence, issuing only a short statement saying it is aware of media reports and that any matters related to ambassadors and their families are handled in accordance with diplomatic procedures. But that vague response only fueled speculation. If everything is above board, why not clarify? Why not explain what it makes no sense? Why not address the elephant in the room, the growing perception that South Africa's foreign missions are more about political rewards than merit-based service? Some insiders hint that this controversy could have roots in internal factional battles within the ANC and the diplomatic service. Ambassadors, after all, are political appointments, and each one carries loyalties, allies, and enemies. If there are moves to reshuffle or recall diplomats, tensions naturally rise, and family members, sometimes unknowingly, become pawns in the game. Could it be that the ambassador's relatives spoke out of frustration at looming changes or fears of losing certain privileges? Or could it be something more personal, a family rift spilling into the public eye? Whatever the reason, the timing couldn't be worse. South Africa's diplomatic image has taken multiple hits in recent years, from embassy scandals and consular delays to corruption investigations abroad. The public expects professionalism, transparency, and integrity from those representing the nation. Instead, every few months, another headline emerges that reminds citizens that even diplomacy isn't immune to dysfunction. Still, what's fascinating about this story is how quickly a single quote, "It makes no sense," captured the nation's mood. It sums up the frustration of millions who feel that very little in South Africa does make sense anymore. From load-shedding schedules that change overnight to ministers defending the indefensible, the phrase resonates deeply. It's as if the ambassador's relative accidentally spoke for the whole country. In recent interviews, some commentators suggested that Mthethwa himself may need to clarify the situation publicly. Silence, they warn, could be misinterpreted as guilt or indifference. Transparency, they argue, would not only protect his name but also help restore trust in the institutions he represents. But will he speak? Diplomats are trained to avoid controversy, to stay polished and neutral. Yet in today's political climate, silence is often more damaging than words. This entire saga shows how fragile the balance is between politics, family, and professionalism. When personal relationships overlap with public service, the result is often confusion and scandal. South Africa's foreign service, like many of its other institutions, needs reform, systems that prioritize merit, accountability, and clear boundaries between personal and professional matters. Until then, stories like this one will keep surfacing, each time shaking the little trust that citizens still have in their leaders. For now, the ambassador's camp remains tight-lipped, and the relative who made the "it makes no sense" comment has reportedly gone quiet, possibly under pressure to withdraw or clarify their remarks. But the phrase continues to echo across social media timelines, talk shows, and political debates.